Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the latest updates.
Hello friends, on Sunday, the Indian Express and other newspapers carried a report based on sources. The sources held forth on the Indian strategy in eastern Ladakh. As per the sources, who have virtually become the official spokesperson for the government and the armed forces, India has decided to confront the Chinese with an indefinite face-off. The aim is to tire the Chinese out. They also put a rider that no military pressure of any kind will be exerted on the PLA to prevent any escalation. I analyze this strategy. The strategy is pragmatic, keeping in view the differential in the technological military capability between India and China, our economic situation, and the enormity of the COVID problem. However, my view is that such a strategy cannot work without military coercion. Through its preemptive maneuver, the PLA has occupied those areas or concentrated troops in those areas like Galwan, the Depsang Plains, Hot Springs, Gogra, and north of Pangong Tso. These areas allow a large chunk of our territory between the main defenses and the LAC to be isolated, not only from each other, but isolated from the main defenses. And these can then be dealt with by the PLA in case of an escalation. In view of this, I propose a strategy wherein we should convert the areas which are likely to be cut off and isolated into fortress defenses. The defenses should be impregnable with overwhelming resources and of a permanent nature. We should also create the necessary habitat in these areas. While we do this, the only areas left for us where we can launch a counteroffensive is the Trishul sector, the Indus Valley sector, and Chumar. We should concentrate our reserves, again in overwhelming strength, to launch a counteroffensive in two eventualities. One, where China, seeing a prolonged face-off, decides to escalate to achieve a quick victory, or when we decide that it is time for us to take military action so we can launch a relative preemptive counteroffensive in these areas. This would be a more balanced strategy vis-a-vis what is being advocated by the sources. I think the sources have allowed their imagination to run wild, and I hope that this is not the formal strategy of the government and the armed forces. Keeping this in mind, it would be prudent for the government and the armed forces to formally give out their strategy so that the sources, who, as I said, have become the official spokesperson, do not run riot with their imagination.